poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never will go so well. I would sacrifice.
How good is Frank Sinatra? Golly gosh. We're in the Frank this morning. I think it's going to be our new morning ritual. Instagram, good morning, what's going on? We'll do a little mini lesson today. I got a question last night, the night before. It was a good one. Sandy Morgan asks, how do you increase your vibration? We've heard people talk about, that motherfucker is on a high vibration, or this motherfucker is on a slow, dense vibration. You've heard that terminology, right? But what does that even mean? Vibration? What's vibrating? I don't feel no vibrations. In the context of what they're talking about, when you're talking about someone who's a high vibration or low vibration, I define it as an individual's speed of non-judgment. An individual's speed of wisdom, if you like. Let me show you. This here diagram, you've seen me draw it before, it's a pendulum. Up here is your soul, this is your true self, this is actuality. Actuality is balance. You know we have conservation laws in the universe. Down here is reality. This is your reality. Your reality, my reality, your mum's reality is the portion of actuality that she realizes through the senses. Reality is not actual, it's our reality. And our reality is formed by our judgments. We have positive judgments and we have negative judgments. The more judgment we have, the wider and the longer and the slower our oscillations in the pendulum of mind. If you're interested in this kind of stuff, you might want to look up the Hermetic principles. Look up the 5th Hermetic principle. It says that the swing to the left is the swing to the right. They're talking about a state. They're talking about the pendulum of mind. The more you judge positive, the more you'll judge negative. In other words, to praise and infatuate and look up to something or someone is to simultaneously condemn, reprimand, and resent its opposite. So when you do one, you have the other, and it chews up your energy. And while you remain in that judgment, that's the level of your vibration. That's the level of your resonation. Let me give an example. We have family members who judge us. We have family members who judge us over many, many things, but I'm going to pick one. One is my swearing. I swear a lot. I fucking swear all the time. There are members of our family who, when they see this, they call, where they proceed to complain to us that their ears have heard a word. It's a naughty, terrible, disgusting, awful word. That's the level of their judgment. They judge a word. That will cost them progress. Because all of your judgments stack up, they accumulate. So it's a word here and a word there. It's a trait here and an action there. And what you judge in others, you judge in yourself. So before you go and act, you've got to run it through all your judgment filters. And so the people with the most judgment, you see them. When they go and act, when they go and do something, they freeze, they fucking hesitate. They've got no freedom, no flexibility. Because every time they do something or take a risk or take a chance, they run it through their judgment filters. The really slow fucks, you can see them getting nervous, like, oh fuck, I want to do this, but I don't want to do that, and then what will this mean? And fuck, trying to run it through their fucking head, their brain's having a seizure, trying to make a simple decision. It's their judgment, it's their level of resonation. So instead of being present and balanced and wise and acting with certainty, they're scattered. Because they're going back to the past and remembering all the horrible things that happened in the past, and then memory and imagination are conserved in the mind, so they project imaginations and fears and fantasies into the future. Like, what will this happen? What will that mean? Or if I do this and then that and then blah, blah, blah. They exhaust a tremendous amount of energy in judgment. So when we get the phone call, it often serves as a beautiful reminder to us to make sure that we're not judging anything, or at least that we're not wasting time and energy and space in the mind judging stuff. We're here for a purpose, we're here for a mission. Focus on the mission. And the mission has both pleasure and pain. One more thing. As you judge more and more and more, you go out into judgment. Positive here, negative there, you go out and you go down. Your oscillation gets slower, like a pendulum. It's slow down here, right? It's called being down and out in life. This is where the masses live. As you neutralize your judgments and see the good with the bad and the happy and the sad and see them as one entangled event, you will move up and in. You will move toward the soul. You'll move toward actuality. When your reality is more closely aligned to actuality, you're vibrating higher up here. And you will attract into your time and space via resonation that which vibrates at a similar level. This is where newer spheres come into it. This is what we spent a lot of time learning in Houston recently. These are your newer spheres of resonation. They are kind of like density zones that are catalyzed by your degree of judgment. So down here, you've got the big, wide, slow oscillations. And then in the next sphere, you've got slightly less judgment and then less judgment again. And as you break through resentments and infatuations and judgments in your life, you will move into newer spheres. You will move into new social dynamics. Watch what happens when you start to break down your judgments. You will vibrate higher and you'll attract different people into your life. And as you ascend through the realms, so to speak, as you get to here and you go and hang out with people who are still down here, you will feel very out of place. You'll feel very uncomfortable. Like, geez, fuck, these guys are judging a lot. Golly gosh. And you will feel out of place. But if you have acclimated to here and you go and hang out with someone who's way up here, you might also feel like you don't really fit in with them. You'll think, golly gosh, this is a fucking enlightened cat. It's very hard to have a conversation. It's very hard to have things in common, right? So what I'm trying to say is that the people who you attract into your life are usually the people who are vibrating at a similar resonation to you. Your friends will probably have the same judgments as you. And you see it every day. Oh my golly gosh, my ex-partner cheated on me or did some horrible thing. And all the friends rally together. Oh my God, what a fucking asshole. And they support each other and they have compassion. Passion means to suffer. Compassion means two people suffering together over their past wounds. And as long as you're suffering and you're judging a certain level of thing and the person hasn't healed their wound from the past, they're still judging the thing, you'll have a friendship. Because you're both judging the same shit. But as soon as you transcend the judgment of someone cheating on you and you see it as a beautiful blessing, you will find it very difficult to give compassion to someone else who's doing that. You'll say, look for the blessing. There was a blessing here. Wake up to it. It's nothing to judge. And if they can't keep up, you will transcend them and then they'll crucify you. Remember this. This will come in handy. Because if you're an enlightened cat and you're moving through the realms, understand that every level that you transcend, the people who you left behind will crucify you. You no longer share the same enemy, they'll crucify you. It's called the haters. And they're there to serve a purpose as well. The haters are there because you've transcended their level of judgment. They're hating on you because they can't see what you see. They don't see the same world as you. And they're there to keep you in balance, keep you humble, keep you in check. Anyway, golly gosh, I can talk about social dynamics for a long time. I really, really enjoy it. It's an area of life that I'm really inspired to learn about and teach about. I like it a lot. And it makes a big difference to your life, social dynamics. If you know the secrets, life's easier.